reality of crime.
And we're back. I'm going to shout out to Lady for Justice. Loud and clear. Jay's back. You got that right. I'm always loud and I try to be very clear. You guys, welcome to Guilty of Crime. I'm your host, Jay, and you guys know the drill. Come on in, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, get a membership if you can. Guys, we made it halfway through the week and I'm looking at the calendar. And Crime Con is coming. I feel like I don't have enough time to get everything ready. We will get it ready. But my goodness. Hello, everybody. How are you doing? Let me say hi, Kim. How you doing? Good to see you. That's my original intro. Hey, Diamond Ring Girl. How you doing? Raindrop Lost. Thank you. Good to see you guys. I appreciate y'all coming here. I know a lot of people are covering the David case because, well, simply he was in a hearing today. But it's however I get the information to you, I can't sit there all day waiting to hear what's coming out of the court. So I applaud those that do, and I hope you guys get some really good information from the sources. Hopefully, I'll get all my information together tomorrow, and then we can do a call-in show, or we'll do a call-in show on Friday in the David and Celeste case. But now we're talking about another case. This is justice for Ashley Flynn. All right. Ashley Flynn was literally 11 counts of murder. Her husband is alleged to have done, and trial is coming. This is his last court hearing that I'm going to show you in a bit before the trial starts. Now, that's fast, guys. That's really fast. This is my 4th episode on the American Idol Caleb Flynn case. Now, did his girlfriend push him over the edge? This is kind of being compared to Chris Watts. And I just saw the witness list that came out, you guys. And I got to tell you, he's got some other charges there. I'll read to you, but a couple of charges are for intimidating witnesses. Yes, intimidating witnesses. As a matter of fact, 2 witnesses. And you know who those 2 witnesses are supposed to be? His 2 children that were there the night that he shot their mother in the head twice and then staged this terrible crime. All right, so we need justice for Ashley Flynn and the Flynn children that no longer have their mom or their dad. And May the 4th trial is coming. So May the 4th be with you guys. Whoever's into all of that, it's coming soon. May freaking 4th. And I haven't even seen a lot of coverage about it. So today, we're going to talk about the trial being set. We're definitely getting into the girlfriend aspect that claims she wasn't a girlfriend, but just mysteriously stepped down from her leadership role in the church after Caleb's arrested. Come on, there's too much going on here for me to believe that the motive was not to do with the love triangle that was going on between Caleb and, hey, Princess Mish, good to see you. It's been a long time. Hello, I hope you're doing well. All right, I'm going to show you the actual charges in a bit, but Caleb Flynn went from his beautiful wife adoring him on American Idol to a 23-year-old woman in the church, allegedly. Now, there's a bunch of speculation and videos on their relationship, although the family tries to deny it. You really can't. When I start digging into and showing you the information, you just can't, you can't argue. And since I just saw the witness list, or I heard who was going to be on the witness list, guess what, my friends? His alleged girlfriend, I'm sorry. His wife is Ashley Flynn. His girlfriend, alleged girlfriend, is also on the list. All right. And now her name is Botner. I keep on saying Ashley Botner, but it's Ashley Flynn. All right. We'll get into the mistress that they call a mistress, and they say she's not so much of one. All right. So we will take a look at that and see what's going on for trial. How's everybody doing? Come on in. Hit that like button. Let's get to the goal. Elizabeth, happy birthday. I don't know which Elizabeth right now, but happy birthday. And this is going to refresh your memory. We're going to show some body cam footage that I've never showed here before of Caleb Flynn being a straight up bitch. Excuse my language, but that's what I got to call him. And then him trying to play things down and the satisfaction of him getting arrested. Because, guys, he did not initially get arrested. He cried and he cried and he cried himself to sleep, and the cops. He overreacted big time. And cops right away said, this is staged, man. They were talking to each other on body cam. And that's whose life he took. Ashley Flynn, the mother of his 2 children and wife. All right. Who's Elizabeth's birthday? Is that Synth's daughter, or what are we doing today? Okay, it is. All right. 420 coming up. All right. Thank you. And a very happy birthday to your Elizabeth and her 22nd birthday. Woo! I hope she's there with you. Tell her we all say happy birthday. All right. Oh my God, that cracked me up. The dispatcher saying, ma'am, calm down, ma'am. Ma'am. I can't get enough of that. Oh my God, this guy is a bish. All right, I'm going to hit play real quick. Just so if you don't know what the hell Jay's talking about, you don't remember this case, or you never saw me cover it, here it is in 2 minutes and 24 seconds. All right. Shows the police interaction and what happened right after the wife's death.
This has to do with murder victim Ashley Flynn. It showed the arrest and the booking of her husband, Caleb, who is now the suspect in his wife's murder. Officer found Ashley Flynn shot dead in her own home while her husband and 2 children were inside. You see there, we have News Center 7's Mike Gamble live in Tipp City. Mike, you went through video showing Caleb Flynn as a potential witness to this killing until police decided he was their murder suspect.
Now, James, Tipp City police focused on running a complete and thorough investigation into Ashley Flynn's death. That means the department actually even called in help from county deputies, Ohio BCI, even the FBI. The chief said his detectives followed the evidence, and doing that changed how they treated Caleb Flynn.
Put your hands together for me.
Police brought Caleb Flynn to the police station the same day as the shooting.
Being cordial, being cooperative.
Detectives fingerprinted Flynn, but explained that it was just for comparison purposes, since they knew his fingerprints would be all over his house. Flynn asks about getting his phone back.
From out of town, like my phone and everything. We'll see what we can do about as far as like getting it back to you. It's kind of standard.
Now, here's the problem with a case like this, okay? This is episode number 4, Lady for Justice. We'll get there. All right. This again, episode number 4. If you know nothing about the case, I suggest you go back to my playlist and look at Caleb Flynn, American Idol killer. Right. That just so you know the point of reference. So listen up, guys. Here's the problem with what's happening here. And it's not a problem. It's a good thing for us that the justice system is moving quickly. However, because he is the husband of Ashley Flynn, who got shot twice in the head, he should have never known that at that point. They already knew he was telling tales. So he's over there talking to them all comfortably and swabbing and chit-chatting, and he doesn't have a lawyer. And the reason they're doing that is because he's the husband. He's always going to be the number one suspect. And then you start to listen to his stories and you say, man, this guy's full of crap. Let's get him in that room. Let's wear him down and let's get him to talk. All right. So let's continue. This is just the very first to remind you of the case. I will give you the rundown, when it happened, how it happened, where it happened, and all of the good stuff of the case that you need to know for trial coming up on May 4th.
For us to, collect everything.
Flynn is then free to go.
As soon as we get updates, as soon as we know something.
Police returned day after day to the house, gathering more evidence, receiving more test results, doing more interviews. 3 days after the crime, once again, Caleb Flynn was brought to the police station and fingerprinted again. This time, officers walked him to a garage and a marked pickup truck.
All right, sir, if you could have a seat for me.
The cruiser camera video shows this is a trip from Tipp to Troy in the Miami County Jail. Flynn is walked over to a scanner that is in the intake garage at the jail. Corrections officers then open the doors and usher him into the jail. Flynn would be booked in on charges of murder, felonious assault, and tampering with evidence.
Damn.
Back live here, police can.
And I'm going to show you that in a minute. I'm going to show you the charging documents and what's charged. I mean, you're not going to believe that this guy, you're not going to believe it. If you haven't seen any of this, I mean, the story's unbelievable. Everything about what he set up is unbelievable. And just everything from the 911 call. I told you guys, if you're going to commit a crime, make sure you're not the one that calls 911.
Continue to work with prosecutors gathering more evidence in this case. A judge set Flynn's bond at $2 million, and his next court appearance is scheduled for late this month.
His court appearance is coming up. I think he needs to get himself to bed, don't you? Thank you, sir. Go get some rest and cover this trial for us, all right? Thank you and thank you. All right, let me put this up so I can, you guys can just kind of see while I talk a little bit about it. All right, so there's the charging docs. There's Caleb Flynn and his booking document and wife, Ashley Flynn, that's no longer with us. So let me tell you, I can catch up. I do remember the 911 call. Got it. Yeah, and it's going to come up again because we're going to talk about the staging and how everything went through. So don't worry, we're not going to miss anything. But this is episode number 4 of this Caleb Flynn, Ashley Flynn, American Idol pastor turns killer case. And then the next time you'll see it is when a trial comes, which is very, very soon. All right. Usually the tactic will be used as a trial. You keep on getting another motion for a hearing and extending and extending and extending, but we're not doing that in this case. So we're going straight to trial. What's up, Kel and Holly? Good to see you, ladies. I see Synth. Hope Tiff, my girl Tiff is doing well. Synth, Cuff You, Mama Pearl, Foxy Amazon. Maybe I missed Tiff, but if not, shout out to Tiff. Hope you're having a good day, my friend. Yeah. He's we're gonna get there. This guy is a piece of work. Now, let me just tell you, in case you forgot everything. Now, this just happened when we're all getting ready to celebrate Valentine's Day this year. Caleb Flynn is planning to murder his wife, Ashley Flynn. Okay. 2 days later, on February 16th, he goes ahead and allegedly does that. Now, this happened in Ohio, okay, Tipp City, Ohio, and he initially reported this as a home invasion, all right? He called 911 and said there was a home invasion, but the problem is he left out so many things that we're going to talk about that there's no way it could have been. Now, this got national attention because this guy is a former American Idol contestant and a worship pastor. It's a big deal in their town. Now, he's 39 years old, guys, and he's been charged with 11 counts. All right, the biggest one being aggravated murder. You'll take a look at it in a bit. Now, his wife, Ashley, was 37, is no longer with us. She was found shot to death, 2 gunshot wounds in their home to her head. Now, Flynn called 911, claiming an intruder broke in and shot her, but investigators later determined probable cause, and that were able to charge him with what I'm going to show you now. They also say he was tampering with evidence at the scene of the crime. And he was very, very not concerned for his children, even though there was a home invasion, which was one of the biggest tip-offs. So he calls 911, reports a robbery. Police arrive. They find Ashley dead. What do you know? She has 2 gunshot wounds to the head. How would he know that? He claimed he and the 2 children were inside the home during the shooting, but she was the only one that got attacked. Investigators allege he staged the scene. Now, who's Caleb's girlfriend that's brought into this? This is Aaliyah Botner, 23 years old, a former worship pastor at Flynn's church. Now, speculation has circulated, and the family's trying to say, no, that's not true. But guys, she's on the witness list, and so are his 2 children, amongst other people. Now, this is all over their town. It's made it into the church leaders' newsletter, etc. It's moving fast. Original date was set for April 29th, which is today. They just moved that out to May 4th, 2026 at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. So May 4th, may the 4th be with you. 6 a.m. my time, 9 o'clock your time. The judge said it's go time. Flynn did not waive his right to a speedy trial, by the way, which forces prosecutors to move fast. Now, I want you to understand that when they're moving that fast, mistakes can get made, and y'all are following the case of David and Celeste. So that gives you a good idea of when someone doesn't waive their right to a speedy trial, it's go time. Holly says, happy hump day. Choo choo. And thank you. And then Lady for Justice came in with the Guilty of Crime membership. If you received that membership, please do thank Lady for Justice. Any confirmation the wife was expecting? Let's take a look. We're going to get into this. Again, we're on episode 4. Absolutely. There's already been an autopsy, medical examiner, etc. So thank you, Foxy, for the Guilty of Crime membership. Please do thank her if you received that. All right, let's take a look at the charges. That way we can kind of see what's going down here. All right. So there's an indictment, and let me see if I can make it bigger for y'all. There's the indictment, Ohio versus Caleb Flynn. All right. This is dated 3/18/2026. Guys, this is just 3/18/2026. That was a little over a month and 10 days ago, and the trial's happening in 5 days from now. Okay. Now, Caleb, who's the defendant that allegedly killed his wife, he's got aggravated murder. There's the first count, but he's got 3 counts of them: 1, 2, and 3. All right. Felonious assault. And then he's got felonious assault 1, felonious assault 2, and felonious assault 3, tampering with evidence times 3, intimidation of an attorney, a victim, or a witness in the criminal case. Now, why do you might ask why? Why do you get 3 counts? Well, count 1 is for the aggravated murder of his wife, okay, on or about February 16th. And it says that he did purposely and with prior calculation cause the death of his wife, Ashley Flynn, in violation of Penal Code, aggravated murder, and an unclassified felony against the peace and dignity of the state of Ohio. I don't know about any of that, but he also got a firearm specification, which shows 3 years here. Again, he had a gun. That gun is alleged to have taken his wife's life. All right. Again, count 2, and that comes up again as a murder charge. Did purposely cause the death of. Now, they're blocking these out. And what I said on the last episodes was the reason for these counts are because of Ashley Flynn and her pregnancy. They do not name that here, although I've never heard a dispute that she wasn't pregnant. Does anybody have a dispute that she wasn't pregnant? Because I think that's probably the better way to look at it. Because when you look at these charges, I mean, I don't know what else other way to look at it. There's 3 of each, all right? So count 3. There's 3 counts of murder. 1 person dead, allegedly. That is what I'm told was for her being pregnant. But you have more firearms. specifications. Fourth count, murder, and they block out the names. It's all redacted, so I don't know if that says unborn child or maybe a name that they were going to name. But you can see more and more. Count 5, felonious assault, right? I mean, again and again and again, it all adds up to 11 counts. And then the tampering with evidence was him trying to stage the whole scene, which we're going to get into even deeper. All right. So when you look back at everything, it's 1 count of aggravated murder and then 3 counts of murder, not aggravated, 2 counts of felonious assault, 3 counts of tampering with evidence, and 2 counts of intimidation of an attorney, victim, or criminal witness in the criminal case. We now know that his former alleged girlfriend is a witness as well as his 2 children. All right. 2 children were at the home that night. He called 911, reported a break-in, and had a very small lack of concern for the children, which led law enforcement to believe that never happened. All right. So again, if you heard otherwise that she wasn't pregnant, let me know, because as far as I know, that's why he has so many counts. Let's take a look at this and catch up. This is alleged mistress of Caleb, and this is the alleged motive as to why he took the life of his wife and staged this crime scene. All right, take a look. He's pictured with his girlfriend up here. I mean, that's his girlfriend up here, and then his wife. All right, let's listen up, see what they say about the alleged mistress.
Hey guys, so we have some new information in the Caleb Flynn murder trial. This is the pastor and former American Idol contestant who is being charged with killing his wife, Ashley Flynn, and the mother of his children. New court filings show the prosecution's witness list. These are people that the prosecution is going to call to testify against Caleb Flynn. And among those subpoenaed to testify is this woman right here, Aaliyah Bonner. She's a worship leader who recently resigned from the church that Caleb Flynn was a pastor at without public explanation. There were rumors at the very beginning of this case that she was involved in an extramarital affair with Caleb Flynn. She has publicly denied these claims. Her family has publicly denied these claims. Her friends have reached out to me personally and said that everything circulating online about her is untrue and that she would never do that. So why is she being called to testify? Was there something going on between her and Caleb? Did Caleb think there was something going on between the two of them? Or is she just being called to testify because she went to the same church with him and worked with him? Remember, Caleb Flynn is being charged with a plethora of different things, including murder, aggravated murder, felonious assault, tampering with evidence, and intimidation of a witness. He has pleaded not guilty to all of the charges.
Now, guys, they are speculating that the intimidation of a witness or witnesses are his children. And unfortunately, his children do have to testify. All right. So, Saucy Skin CBD, welcome. I hope you guys have been following this case. I hope that now that you're following the case, you can continue to watch the trial and help with the justice for Ashley Flynn and the children. I know the defense is calling her mistress. Hence why people are comparing this case to Scott. I mean, I'm not sorry. I was going to say Scott Peterson to Chris Watts. Chris Watts took the life of his pregnant wife, but he also went on to take the life of his children. Now, in this case, he is Caleb Flynn, alleged to take the life of Ashley Flynn and their unborn child. All right. So that's the deal there. I think that he was too much of and I'm glad he was. I think it might have been in the plan to also take the children's life, and he didn't do it at the last minute. But that's all just speculation. All right, let's continue. Good to see everyone. We just jumped into it, so I will get. You guys can talk amongst yourselves. I will answer questions later after we get through a bit of this.
Against him, and his bond was set to $3.5 million. At the moment, his trial is slated to begin on April 28th, 2026. So we'll just have to wait and see how this continues to play out. At this point, it seems pretty clear that he committed the crime, but why? We still don't know motive. Do you think that it's because he wanted to build a relationship with someone else? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hey guys, so we have some new information in the Caleb.
I absolutely 110% believe that. And nothing that they say from that side of the camp is going to convince me otherwise until we hear the testimony. All right, now she is a witness. I mean, people aren't stupid, okay? They're not dumb. She resigned from the church right away. There's a lot of rumors she couldn't handle it. All right, so here's the daily life. The identity of 23-year-old girl rumored to be Caleb's mistress, which led the former American Idol, this is they're saying allegedly, to shoot his wife dead. Now, the girl's family speaks out, pleading for help. They're saying it's not what social media shared, that it never happened, and to please spare their family. All right, so now we're looking at this case where Caleb is taking the life of his wife, unborn child, allegedly, and we've got all kinds of infidelity rumors, and they're saying viral fake news. All right, they're saying that didn't happen, which leads me to think, why is she denying it so hard when law enforcement has evidence of him having an affair with that particular girl? They have everything on it. Okay, so they say they're a grieving family, a young woman that they're saying she's caught in the crosshairs of a digital witch hunt. Again, kind of sounds like Nicole Kessinger to me. I didn't do anything wrong. All right, the case has become pretty big because of the American Idol association with him and the desperate 911 call that created a media storm. All right, so that morning, we'll just take you back real quickly. This is probably pretty familiar for you guys. Not this. Look at this. It's pretty familiar for you guys that a lot of crimes, like home invasions or kidnappings, seem to happen between 2 and 3 in the morning, which is statistically the best sleep that you're going to get, unless you get up at 4 a.m. It's your best REM sleep. So when somebody commits a crime at that time, they're hoping for someone to be asleep. I know, I saw that ad and I'm like, let me go down. Why did they do that? All right, so listen, this unfolded. I already told you what happened on February 16th. He calls and fakes a break-in, and the sympathy was short-lived. Following a really swift investigation, Tipp City Police and Miami County put the narrative together that shifted from a random act of violence to a domestic homicide. Now, Thursday, February 19th, 3 days later of the shooting, Caleb Flynn was arrested. That was on suspicion of the big M word. He has since pled not guilty and he's been in and out of court. He claims that it was a home invasion. All right. Even as prosecutors continue to build the case, he still denies it. So there he is on American Idol. I guess he wasn't happy with his 15 minutes of fame. And then there you go. There's another reason why they're saying Chris Watts. And again, there's 111 people in chat. 111. Please say a prayer that Ashley Flynn and the family, along with the unborn baby, gets the justice they deserve. All right. Good to see everybody. Thank you guys for being here. Yes, definitely sign up. Go sign up for Ghost. Go check it out. This case it kind of parallels the Chris Watts case on many levels, but I'm so glad that he didn't take the life of his children. Now, they literally have this message sent to the mistress, allegedly. It's almost done. All right. What does that mean? Now, here's Caleb Flynn and his mistress in a text message that he says it's almost done. Then, like Chris Watts and the Shanann Watts and the girls, this is the last time that you're going to see his wife, Ashley Flynn, go into their home. Okay, so this recording came from their doorbell, and you never see her leave because she's dead after this. All right, so December 24th, this is 2 years prior. Merry Christmas from our family to yours, the Flynns. And as you can see, they have 2 young children. At the time, this was 3 years ago, so they're a little bit older. He did not take their lives, thank God. And you can see fake book, right? We made it to Minnesota. Fake book. Happy, smiling faces. All right. So then it says the rise of the mistress narrative. They're saying it's fake news. They're saying after the arrest broke, the void of information was quickly filled with court of public opinion and unsubstantiated rumors. But now that we see the witness list and the counts, I really don't think so. While the existence of an affair remains at the central point of speculation in this case, they say the situation was weaponized by pink slime news sites and platforms that generate fabricated stories. I don't know anything about that. If you guys know, let me know in chat. They say the forensic reports had leaked showing a text message from Caleb's phone. Listen, guys, at 12:42 a.m., just 2 hours before the murder of his wife, he's alleged to text his mistress saying it's almost done. All right. So, I mean, we're seeing two sides of it. The family's saying it's a lie. All right. So then this desperate 911 call we'll get to. I'll play it again. I'm not right now. Because we've already listened to it in the other parts, but we will get there. Legal road ahead isn't too far. 5 days from now, trial's coming, and that's the last time that you will have seen this man that looks 20 years older in less than 2 months in court. All right. I don't know what happened to him, but jail is a hell of a place to be. Check him out in his final court appearance before trial.
Suspected of shooting and killing his wife in Tipp City is back in court for the last time before his trial. Caleb Flynn, who was arrested back in February after his wife Ashley was found dead from a gunshot, appeared this afternoon for a scheduling conference. 2 News reporter Evan Bales was in that courtroom today. Evan, what's the latest from up in Troy?
Jack, like you just said, this is likely the last time that Flynn will be appearing in court before his jury trial is set to start on May 4th. Now, during the scheduling conference, 2 important things came up, and that was potential new witnesses that they're looking to bring into this case, as well as the jury potentially visiting the Flynn home. Now, the first piece of today's hearing was granting the jury permission for what's called a jury view, allowing for them to go back to the scene of the crime and view it in person, which would be the near entirety of the Flynn home back in Tipp City. Now, that motion for a jury view was granted, and Flynn waived his right to be present for that. The second piece surrounded potential testimony from 2 juvenile witnesses proposed by the prosecution. Now,
those juvenile witnesses are his children. They tried to keep the children out of it, but there's no way the prosecution, district attorney, whoever's pushing, is going to allow the children not to testify when they were there the entire time. And they can testify to the moods of the parents. Did they fight? What was the scene like? Was there tension before they went to bed? Look at this guy. Look at how badly he's aged within just a couple of months. And you'll see him again in some videos in just a bit, right? You look at him there, you're like, what in the hell happened to this guy? Don't commit crimes, y'all.
For minors, their names were not disclosed, but we did learn that they are 9 and 12 years old. The defense team didn't object to the motion, but instead asked the judge to reconsider granting the motion, citing case precedent from earlier this year, essentially saying that these new witnesses have the case to overturn the ruling, any further rulings from further down the line. However, the state quickly brushed that argument off. Now, beyond these motions, both teams didn't file any further motions, essentially leaving them to their final preparations before this jury trial is set to start on May 4th. We will be there for every step of this trial, so make sure to tune in for that on WDTM.
All right, so those of y'all that are obsessed, watch out. It is not far, and every time we cover a case in that area, there's a lot of people that are like, oh, damn, I'm from that area, and they didn't know about the case. And that's why we needed to cover more cases and the updates, right? Because we covered the cases, but then we don't get updates more than like a little 2-minute update on something that's really big. Again, I would compare this to the Chris Watts case minus, and thank God, the children. All right, let's just quickly listen to the 911 call. This is only 2 minutes. I'm not sure if it's the whole one. Cuff you if you know, let me know. I found a 2-minute and a 7-minute one, and I don't want to play more than I need to. So I'll play this for right now. Listen to the 911 call before we get into it.
Somebody broke into my home. Somebody broke into my home.
Okay.
It's not my wife.
Are they still in there?
I don't know. I don't know. My daughters are here. My daughters are here.
Oxygen.com's obtained the audio from Caleb Flynn's 911 call as the murder suspect accused an intruder of killing Ashley Flynn, his wife and mother to their 2 daughters.
Okay. Do you still see anybody in the house?
No, the door to the garage was wide open. My wife she's got 2 shots to her head. There's blood everywhere. Oh my God. Oh my.
Where's she at?
She's in the bed. She's in the bed.
Now, you guys, if you go back and look at my playlist, I did a whole episode on the 10 red flags in this short 911 call. And guys, I'm going to give you like 30 seconds of what they are. All right. The first flag was when he called 911. He begins the call with someone broke into my house before ever mentioning anything about his wife or her being shot. Now, this would be, he would also never know that she was shot twice in the head. You just simply couldn't see that without being a medical examiner or a coroner with all her hair and everything. He'd have had to been covered in blood. He'd have had it on his hands and everywhere else. Number 2, there was a vanishing perpetrator, which happens many times when the perpetrator calls 911. They don't tell you anything, no description, no hearing, no seeing, and then they disappear. 3rd, he focused on the garage door instead of talking about who came in and where. He goes straight to the garage door, was wide open. 4th red flag, he says she's got 2 gunshots with extreme precision. Yet, guys, there's no visible blood on him at all, raising the question on how in the hell he would have known that without examining it. 5th flag, he describes hearing a sound and he's freezing. He says he finally got up. When he got up after that, he discovered Ashley and then vaguely explained. All right. 6-1, he doesn't immediately check on his daughters in the 911 call at all. If you had someone come into your house and in the middle of the night or 2 a.m, you check on your daughters, he had no concern for them. He said they were sleeping in the other room. All right. His narrative avoids detailing the moment that he found Ashley and anything else going on. All right. He also says he froze when they asked him about anything else going on. He just says he froze. Last but not least, he has an inconsistent emotional pattern when they get there. And actually, there's one other thing. The house is very tidy. There's 0 signs of forced entry, struggles, dogs barking, or anything loud. All right. That makes for a bad staging scene.
Are you with her?
I am in the room. I'm looking at her. Yes.
The American Idol alum pleading not guilty to 1 count of murder, 2 counts of felonious assault, and 2 counts of tampering with evidence.
Is she breathing?
I don't know. I don't think so. Ashley, baby, please. Oh my God, she's not.
Flynn's attorney now telling Oxygen.com, "We are both disappointed and concerned about the short timeline and seeming rush to judgment in this case. When the government runs out of leads or can't develop leads and looks at a surviving spouse in cases such as these, the chance of a wrongful conviction increases."
I love to sing, so that's why I auditioned. Maybe my wife kind of nudged me a little bit too. You know, I absolutely love the Lord. I love my wife more than anything. She is very, very pretty. Just, I love her.
Authorities also pushing back against the attorney calling the investigation a rush job. The pace of this investigation has been driven by the evidence recovered.
Now, listen, this is really quick, but he did not. And I'm going to tell you again, he did not waive his right to a speedy trial so that they can put motions into place and do all kinds of stalling tactics. I guess he did think he was going to get, that he was not going to get caught. All right. Oxygen, some top tier journalists, they want their statement. They went with their statement. Yeah, I just was trying to find the 911 call. Right before I came on here, guys, I was having a headache, and so I took a migraine pill. So if I'm gonna try, probably this is not gonna last as long as they normally do, because that kind of whooshed over me. All right, so all right, let's get to it. We're gonna get to it because here's the thing. I'm gonna show you some body cam footage so you can see him and the way he switches up, and then just came out the staged crime scene, your questions answered. So all the things you think you want to know and I want to know before trial, we're going to get to them with Hidden Killers. And he's, of course, got Robin Dreek on there, retired FBI specialist. Absolute fantastic episode. 16 minutes. All right. But let's continue. You'll just have to go back to the playlist and watch the other ones if you want.
And discovered, and that evidence will continue to guide the investigation as additional information is collected and analyzed.
All right, so they didn't play the whole one. No worries. Doesn't matter. I'm not going to jump to that. I am going to jump to the body cam footage that you can see. And let's go. I think it's hey, my pastor. Hold on, let me say hello and thank you. Thank you. I did get your beautiful message. I messaged you back, and I thank you for the Cash App. Thank you so very much. You're not missing much, so if you want to watch with us and then go back, that would be nice. All right? Golden Hen, good to see you. You're right on time. Thank you. Prayers, prayers for the Flynn family, period. Let me put this on real quick, and then I need to go grab a tissue. You know what? The weather in California went from being rainy and cold to everything in full bloom. So I don't know if anyone else is getting allergies. Maybe it's that. I usually get like one good allergy migraine at the beginning. All right, let me play this and I'm going to be right back.
Arrived on scene.
So they can't sue you. How about that?
Okay, now this is what they're going by. He is not arrested. You have allergies too, Mom. Yeah, like today I just got this like wave of allergies, and then I took a migraine pill, and that always like slows me down. So, you're here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and the allergies are horrible. Yeah, I get a terrible attack every year. It sucks. I hate it. Psychotic weather. Yeah, getting old, man. All right, now listen. This was after the 911 call and after police witnessed all of the red flags that I just told you about. I'll be right back. Let me go grab a tissue.
Are you able to break free and just go back to the PD?
Yeah, I was just watching his drone for him. So if Corey or Will or someone can watch it.
All right, kid. I'll just take you with me. Okay. You'll be riding up front with me. All right. Sound good?
Here, we get our first look at the suspect, who you might recognize as a former contestant on season 12 of American Idol that aired in 2013.
Good. All right, let's head over here to this black bar. Yeah.
Caleb is escorted to a police station where investigators collect his DNA, fingerprints, and clothes before he's sent on his way.
All right. At this time, as soon as we get updates, as soon as we know
Thank you all for
something.
being here.
Where did you
Appreciate you.
What's that? She's still there. Okay, we don't move anything because at this time, once we have BCI come, it's kind of their scene. Okay, and then they will scour that house.
So this is obviously before. Now I don't take allergy meds like that over the counter. I took a migraine pill. I actually get prescribed migraine pills, and I took the whole one. Normally I take half. I should have just took a half. So, all right, I do too. I like that. I like the cool art in the background. It makes me happy. So, yeah, Deb, good to see you. I just turned my air off too. Jallergies. All right, let's continue.
For everything. Yeah. Like it's real life CSI.
This guy's idiot.
I don't mean to say it's exactly like that, but they have their own standards and there's things that I didn't even know they can do what they do.
But 3 days after the murder, Caleb returns to the police station, where this time he won't be getting away so easily.
All right, Caleb, I need you to stand up and we'll lay something around us. All right.
Step forward.
You want evidence?
What's that?
Turn around for me, sir.
We're not going to discuss that here. Okay.
This is great, man. Any footage that we see this guy in, Caleb Flynn, he looks like he's about to cry. Yeah, I don't nod out. I don't do that, Jen's a gypsy. I'm a grown-ass adult. I don't think grown adults nod out, do they? Yeah, it might be that, but the weather's, and they just did the yard, so the yard's all kicked up and whatever. Get out of here, Foxy. Get out of here. All right, let's continue. I love you guys. Thank you guys. Anyway, I'm not on definitely my tip top, but I'm still here. Kristen, thank you so much for being a member for 13 months. Thank you. And you have been around forever, all of you guys. Thank you to my pastor calls me Mish. Really, really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart, guys. I really do. All right. Yeah, he's a princess. He's going to be a princess, all right. He's going to be a princess. All hail to the mighty Lube. That's what he's going to be, the princess of Lube. All right. The older you get, the more not. Now, I will not ever nod off. I will say, guys, I'm tired. I'm going to sleep. Bye. That's just not who I am. All right, let's continue. And thank you, guys. Thank you. I appreciate you. We do have a goal. If you want to help us, gift memberships, get memberships, super chat, super sticker, that definitely helps. All right. I appreciate you. He was a grown man, but he loved the big. Yeah. See that? I don't have no anything. This is what I have. I have Red Bull. And when that stops working, I go to sleep. He's going to be singing high notes in jail, especially when they don't put anything on his books and he can't get any lube, right? No Vaseline and no lube for you, sir. It's all dry. And you sure do have a party mouth. Let's see that party mouth singing.
Put your hands together for me. Like
Did Patrick call you?
What's that?
Did Patrick call you?
Now, I didn't know that he was calling me. So.
His lawyer's supposed to be calling right now.
Okay. Yeah. We'll get in touch with him.
I'm being cordial and being cooperative.
I'm being cooperative.
You want to give him a hug real quick? And go ahead.
Caleb was charged with homicide, 2 counts of felonious assault, and 2 counts of tampering with evidence.
I'm sure he'll come up. There's no evidence. They know how much you love that one. You're going to do it. If he's drunk, you're saying,
you whiny little bish. All right, so what prompted me today to cover this case? Number 1, I didn't know trial was coming in 5 days. Number 2, Cuff You is also a true crime junkie, apparently, thinking about true crime all the time. Right, Cuff You? Right. All right. Maybe he will be a Hummer specialist. Right. Some avocados, baby. Yeah, man. You know what? I used to live in the valley. And when I lived in the valley, it was terrible. So once I came over the Bay Bridge, it's a lot more bearable here. So at least, like yesterday, guys, yesterday I was not in the mood. I had that leaky leak yesterday and I wasn't in the mood, but I'm still here. You guys, I couldn't do it without you. So thank you. Thank you, Rose, for the Guilty of Crime membership. I cannot wait to meet you guys as well. Crime Con, baby. Crime Con. Let's just jump into the new twist in the case, and then I'm going to get into the things that that we all want to know. I just wanted to see his whiny face real quick.
the ramp. Sergeant's there.
Oh, man. Thank you. Thank you.
If you just have a seat for us, do you want to, or you care to, I got it download.
The 30.
oh no, what am I gonna do now? All right, check this out. What he's gonna do now is cry and be locked up forever. This guy's not getting out, guys. He really isn't, especially with the count that's running, the 11 counts, one of aggravated M and then 3 separate. All right, so this came out today and it said, we have a big update in the case. So that prompted me, the fact that we've been covering it already, and Cuff U's a parent. I now know Cuff U has a the same kind of bug that we do. The guilty of crime crime crew were crime junkies. She's also a crime junkie. I'm learning slowly but surely. All right, so now he's gonna be a little girl. He thinks he's getting out. He asks the judge to get that to set his bail so that he can see his children and spend time. But guys, we all know that this guy's never going home to see his children. He doesn't. This is the moment where he realizes it. Right. This is the big update, and then we're not gonna watch the whole episode. We're just gonna see the update, and then I'm gonna get to what the hell we need to know before the trial.
The former American Idol contestant who appeared to be steamrolling to trial less than 3 months after he made this emotional phone call in the middle of the night.
Oh my God.
Okay, this is perfect. Now we're going to hear the 911 call. That way you guys don't have to go do that yourself. All right, he's going to get a new outfit, all right. They better give him some, literally, they better give him some, another Fucci face, Jay. What? Now his children, what? I didn't do any. Am I making ugly faces today? What do you mean? I still smile even when it sucks. I smile through it. How is it in some cases, as this one, are clean cut, but other ones that claim an intruder harmed a victim when it may be the actual family members like John Bonet? You know, Lena, that's a fantastic question. How does that happen? Well, first of all, now we're in 2026. John Bonet back then, if we would have had cameras and taps on the phone and all the different video footage of her coming in but never leaving, a person that broke in or not, you got to think in 2026 and above and beyond, don't commit a crime. If you do, just go turn yourself in, y'all, because everything's recording. Okay, if I go in there right now and I talk about a crime that I committed, Alexa's going to pick it up, or the cameras, or the neighbor's cameras, or the dogs. All right, just don't do it. Just don't do it. Good to see you, C. Becky. They are not giving him bail. Let's listen to this lame ass 911 call and why you should never call 911 if you're the perpetrator. All right, this is 101. This is perpetrator 101.
Miami County 911.
Oh my God! Somebody broke into my home. Somebody broke into my home and shot my wife.
Are they still in there?
I don't know. Please hurry. Please hurry.
What are you seeing?
My wife she's got 2 shots to her head.
We just learned that Caleb Flynn will not stand.
That's not even possible that he could have seen that. That's why I gave you the red flags. Again, if you know about ballistics and you know about the forensics and the ballistics of weapons, guns, any kind, you'll understand that you've got patterns, whether it was execution style, meaning close, whether it was far, how many, how much. Apparently, he said way too much too soon. Law enforcement and first responders didn't even know that she was shot, let alone twice in the head. All right. It just didn't work for him. No. And the 911 caller thinks that he's a female, which is funny. It makes me laugh because he's an idiot. Right. And I'm not saying I've never called. I plenty of times I've called somewhere and they're like, hold on, sir. I get a kick every time. I still get a kick out of it. When someone I call and they're like, hold on, sir, who do you want to talk to? And I'm like, ma'am, and I still laugh. So perfect saying, just don't do it. Right.
Trial so quickly on charges he allegedly killed his wife with their 2 young daughters sleeping close by. Why Caleb Flynn pleaded with the court.
Look at this guy.
We're on the case presented by Law and Crime.
He actually looks evil in that picture. It's like he morphed from this Family Guy this perfect family guy on American Idol to this piece of human garbage that just ruined his children's lives, probably, right? They're going to have PTSD and all kinds of things that psychologists have talked about. Yes. What's Jay's email, please? The boss bitch. If someone could drop that, that'd be awesome. I mean, look at him. He's pathetic. Guys, he's pathetic. I don't understand how anybody in their head can think that is a way to get out of a marriage and a pregnancy. All right? It's not. Just give her half your damn money and move on with your day. Get your kids, have custody, do what everyone else has to do, and get a divorce. All right? Those poor children. But I do got to say, I am glad he did not take their lives. Now, they're going to testify against him.
I'm Chris Stewart.
You certainly are, Chris Stewart, and I'm going to
testify about the night that their mom was killed.
Hold on. I got to go back because we don't want the code.
Caleb Flynn goes on trial for allegedly killing his wife, his 2 young daughters. They're just 9 and 12 years old. They may have to take the stand and testify about the night that their mom was killed. And they may have to do it with their dad just sitting feet away with his freedom on the line. It is hard to predict what the emotion would be like in the room if that happens. When that happens, it's very unclear at this point. Caleb Flynn was slated to go on trial May 4th, but today we heard from the courts in Ohio that date is not going to happen. We were told attorneys will be meeting tomorrow to talk more about that.
Oh, they changed it again. It's a big twist. Of course, they got me reeled in because they said a big twist in the Caleb Flynn case. And so I watched it. I think that's pretty much the twist. The May 4th date's probably not going to happen, but it's going to be very soon. What's up, KCC? All my regulars are in the house and I love it. Love it. Love it. Love you, Mama Pearl. Everybody say a big prayer and send good vibes to Mama Pearl just because we love her. All right. Let's continue. This literally just came out today. Yes, I said, oh, a big twist. Is it going to be shocking? And here it is, the shocking big twist y'all been waiting for.
Caleb Flynn did not waive his right to a speedy trial, and the court system's been full speed ahead ever since he was arrested back in February.
Yep.
All right.
Step forward.
Yes, ma'am, I do, Miss Maggie. The reason I said today, trial set for American Idol pastor Caleb Flynn. Did his girlfriend push him over the edge? I'm going to say yes. When you see that text message that says almost done 2 hours before he killed his wife, sent allegedly to his mistress, well, there you go. All right, there you go. All right, he got trumped by the vajazzled, right? He got vajazzled. Robin, thank you so much for the $2 super sticker towards our goal. Yes, they got me too with that big twist. It's every time. It's like Dolly does that too, Dolly Vision, and I support his channel, but it's funny because it's always shocking and this and that, and it's like a 2-second thing, and I'm like, okay, what else? And then nothing ever happens. So our whole episode is going to be a shocking new twist today.
You want evidence? What's that? Now, that is the body cam video of the moment he was arrested as he sat in a police station lobby. And that question raised by the person who was sitting with him, what evidence do police have that Caleb Flynn allegedly killed the mother of his children, a woman named Ashley Flynn? This is a woman who he once gushed about as a contestant on American Idol more than a decade ago. And that question, what evidence? It is a fair one. And at this point, we can really only speculate about why. Police say Caleb Flynn's story is allegedly bogus. His story being that someone broke into the...
I mean, I just don't know how that's such a powerful thing, but apparently it is, because you've got cases like Chris Watts that will wipe out his whole family in order to get the P. All right, the P to the U to the S to the S to the Y. That's what it is. And we'll get a pie chart with the P, the U, the S, the Y. All right, let's continue. Make me start rapping.
Their home on a cul-de-sac in Tipp City, Ohio, north of Dayton, and killed his wife, Ashley Flynn, in their bed. We now have the witness list that the defense filed with the court of people who may be called to testify if and when Caleb Flynn stands trial. And we're going to go over some of the interesting names on that list here in just a moment.
Yes. And guys, you know what is interesting is when you hear him talk about, you like that rap, the P to the U to the S to the S to the Y. All right. Listen, she was 23 years old. He obviously is very shallow piece of garbage. Jesus and God did not get into his heart when he was being a pastor. He was obviously being a fake pastor and taking advantage of the situation, in my opinion. Because if you were close to God or Jesus, you would never do anything like that, nor would you even think of it. And that's the only thing he could say about his wife is she's so pretty. Yeah, she's very freaking pretty. Why did you do that? This is her now. Very pretty woman. And he traded her for that. Looks similar. It's like a younger model. It's like going in for the new Tesla. Only it's not a car. And it's your wife that gave you children. All right? So that's the only thing he ever says about her is that she's pretty, not the love of my life, my soulmate, she gave me my children. And no, she's pretty. Ooh, watch me get smacked if I ever say that, some shit like that.
We've also learned that the jury in a trial would go see
always
Caleb
on
Flynn's
roll.
house in person to take in the crime scene for themselves. Flynn's defense attorney told a court that he wanted jurors to see the layout of the home for themselves as long as everything was the same as it was on that terrible day back in February.
We're okay with the jury view so long as the kitchen hasn't been moved, the garage hasn't been moved.
Yes, this is a big deal too, guys. They are going into the house. They are bringing the jury into the house. And you don't hear about that too often where the jury takes a field trip to a crime scene. All right. Now, in the Idaho 4 case, everyone was devastated because they ripped down the house. They wanted to use it for trial. Well, guess what? A trial never happened. And that was just really a bad, in my opinion, just bad, negative, and dark energy that no one would want to be in. Interesting enough, Kel, I love the wolf and sheep's clothing analogy. Well, I love it so much that I've got it backwards. And I'll show you guys when you go to CrimeCon. I've got a sheep on my back in wolf's clothing. So I'm the opposite. I look all scary and mean. You see me, I'm all tatted up with a resting bitch face. And you think I want to fight you? But really, I'm a sheep underneath. So I'm a sheep in wolf's clothing. I'll show you guys my tattoo when I meet you. It's really beautiful. All right, let's continue.
The rooms in the house haven't been moved to the extent that I don't even care if the roof is not there anymore. It's not relevant to this particular case. I would like the jury to be able to see the ingress and egress from the home and location of various rooms in the home. So it's really not terribly complicated.
He said, I don't even care if there's a roof. We just want to see the rooms and the layout of the damn house and listen to that 911 call as you see how fake this mofo is. Let's make it happen, Judge. Okay.
Now, while the jury may see Flynn's house, Caleb would have the right to go with the jury to see it as well. But he told the judge that he wouldn't want to do that. Now, before we get into that witness list and some of the debates that's taken place over Flynn's daughters taking the stand, I want to go through what police saw when they were first called to Caleb Flynn's home in the middle of the night on February 16th.
I am.
Corey?
This doesn't play very long. It bothers me that they it pisses me off that it's all blurred.
Okay,
but
have you checked on them?
The 911, yes.
Right now, no one else comes in here, period.
No, every door is
one.
Idiot.
Okay.
So it's around 2:30 in the morning, and Caleb Flynn called 911. He's emotional. He's claiming a home invader came into their house and killed his wife as their children slept close by. Now, you notice in that body cam video, he says the couple's 2 daughters are still asleep in their rooms. This month, prosecutors filed a motion saying, quote, the state anticipates multiple children to testify during the state's case in chief, potentially meaning the Flynn's daughters, ages 9 and 12, will have to take the stand with their dad on.
Now, guys, 9 and 12-year-olds, if you have children in 2026, I want you to realize that 9-year-olds and 12-year-olds are equivalent, especially girls, little girls, right? They mature faster than boys, and with all the technology, 9 and 12 is equivalent to 13 and 16 because they really do mature. They can tell you what the mood was of the family. Did they fight? Whatever they need to tell. And they're saying that he was trying to intimidate the children not to testify against him. And that's why they set 0 bail for him, as well as no contact with any of the children. All right. And good to see you, Clementine. You're always in the bushes, but I always shake you out of those bushes somehow. I know how to shake you out of them bushes. All right, let's continue. I know. But listen, Allie, at least they have a life. At least he didn't smother them and put them inside 2 oil tanks where their skin was just coming right off. All right, they're alive. Chris Watts, not so much. Didn't let the children live.
On trial for their mom's murder. Now, here's an interesting back and forth that has been taking place on that topic, because the state lists the rights that they want the children to have, which includes having an advocate or a victim's representative of the child's choosing present in the courtroom in a position clearly visible in close proximity. Now, Flynn's team responded questioning the need for the children having a child advocate in the room during their testimony. They say no evidence has been presented that proves an advocate would be necessary, and a hearing hasn't.
You would want an advocate so they can direct the children properly. It's heartbreaking the girls have to do it, I know. But if they have an advocate in there, at least they'll be able to recognize why the little girl just froze up, or why she doesn't want to answer the question this way, and why you should talk to her like this, or they know how to come at you. They know how to come at the kids. Thank you. I'm sure it's just allergies, and I just should only taken a half of the migraine pill. I didn't know she was pregnant. Yeah, my original episode said former American Idol contestant executed his wife. Now I want you to realize that executing his wife, I don't just say that because I want you to think it's shocking news or breaking news. Executing his wife is the style that he did it. Execution style. He was very, very close to her head and from the back. So he was so much of a coward, she didn't even see it coming. All right. That's execution style. Quiet, Allie. You would be drinking it if you were here. All right, let's continue.
Been held. Now let's talk about Caleb's wife, Ashley. This was a woman who appears to have been beloved by the community. She was a local volleyball coach. She was a teacher, and she and Caleb were very active in their church. Caleb says that the person who killed Ashley came into their house through an open garage door and then shot her twice in their bed. I want you to listen to the story that he tells the 911 dispatcher allegedly.
And listen when they say, ma'am, excuse me, ma'am, what are you looking at right now? Nana, how you doing as a retired dispatcher? When that man told me he had not checked on the kids, exactly. That was the #1 red flag. I'd know he was involved. Most parents would be calling from the kids' room after they checked. They wouldn't say, oh, they're in the room sleeping. Don't worry about it. They're okay. I always go there, and that's why you guys keep coming back, because I say all the stuff that you want to say. Right? Right. All right. Let's continue. I mean, yeah, he's of course going to claim to be a Christian. He's a pastor.
What are you seeing?
My wife she's got 2 shots to her head.
Yeah.
Blood everywhere. Oh my God. Sir, please.
Ma'am, I need you to take a deep breath, okay? Do you still see anybody in the house?
Ma'am, take a deep breath.
No, the door to the garage was wide open. Please hurry, please.
Did you hear that? Ma'am, take a deep breath. Oh my God, I love it. His children, 9 and 12 years old. He does sound like a girl. Remember, he was on American Idol. He hits those tones, those notes.
Oh my God. My daughters are here. My daughters are here.
Where's she at?
She's in the bed.
Are you with her?
I am in the room. I'm looking at her. Yes, please.
Oh, wow. So you're saying you guys were in bed sleeping while your daughters were sleeping, and some home invasion people just came in, walked up to her, and shot her execution style in the back of the head twice? They didn't take anything? There's no point of breaking, and they didn't hurt you? Wow, this guy's so lucky, man. He must really pray hard.
Okay, you guys have the door locked?
We have the door to the garage locked, but
where's that room at in the house? My partner's getting them dispatched, okay? But I need you to answer my questions so I can get you help as fast as I can, okay?
What question?
Where are you guys at in the house?
I'm in the bedroom with her right now.
Okay.
My daughters are in their room.
So you are not with the children?
I was with the children when it happened.
Okay, but you're not with them now?
No, they're in their room.
I was with the child. I was with the children when it happened. But ma'am, you're not now? Well, whatever prompted you to leave your children alone when you just saw your wife getting executed by some unknown intruder? Yes, it was his gun, Princess Mish. This guy is the dumbest of the dumb. Yeah, now he can hit those tones in prison when he drops the soap and nobody gives him Vaseline or lube to help a brother out. All right, ma'am, calm down, ma'am. It's okay. Where are your children, ma'am?
They're not even awake. Oh my God.
So there you see some confusion on the line about where the children are in the home. And he says the children are still asleep, even though their mom had just been shot. And it stands out that Caleb Flynn did not go running to protect his kids. He's just letting them sleep, according to this 911 call. Now, here is what he said about where Ashley is, that she's dead in the bed.
Are you hearing anything?
No, I've rubbed her leg and said her name. She's not answering.
Okay. Your daughter's not answering you?
I'm sorry. No. Hold on. I'm sure.
He's in the middle of putting his shirt on now. He's talking about his wife. They're talking about checking on the children. If your wife or husband gets shot twice in the head and you just kind of rub their leg, it sounds like you're just poking them. Like, hey, are you alive over there? Nope. Let me call 911. He like poked her and then walked out. No blood. He's changing his clothes. Come on, ma'am. He does sound like a female.
What'd you say?
Your daughter's not answering you?
No, they're across the room.
Okay.
In their room.
Okay. Are you hearing any kind of noise inside the house?
No, her face is, sir, her face is white as good ghost. Please.
Okay, whose face?
Exactly.
My wife's face.
Your wife's face?
The one who was shot.
She was what?
Shot, I said.
Okay.
What are you talking about? We've been on this 911 call for 5 minutes. And you didn't hear me talk about my wife being shot in the head twice while we were sleeping? This mother. Good luck.
Where was she shot at?
In the head. I hope there's blood everywhere.
Okay, is she breathing?
I don't think so. Ashley, baby, please. Oh my God,
Wake up.
She's not.
Are you awake?
Then in the body cam video, Caleb tells police that he keeps a gun in the glove box of his car. Now, we don't know if authorities believe they have the alleged murder weapon in this case. The video is redacted, but you can hear the audio of officers speaking and Caleb speaking. And even though it's blurred on the screen, you still get a good idea of where officers are in the house. Here they are talking with Flynn, and then they work their way into the garage as they try to validate the story that Caleb is telling them.
What do I do with my daughters?
Right now, I need you to breathe, okay?
Look at this.
Do you have any family that you can call? Okay, where's your phone at? Okay. Do you want to call family?
I mean, this is totally stated in the report. They initially, based on his emotional, whatever he was doing there, whether he was acting or not, right away they said, this guy has done something to his wife. We got to get him in there. Now, that's behind the scenes, all right? Jay, say mother trucker, please. It's hilarious when you say it. This guy's a mother trucker, and you know it. F this mother trucker. A.B. Isham says, you're cracking me up. Well, good. I'm glad. Because otherwise, I'm going to just sit here with resting bitch face. And all y'all are going to think I'm mean. We're going to get some new subs coming in. Like, I'm not watching this channel. She looks like she's going to hurt me. Thank you, Indy Isham. I appreciate you. This guy is dumber than a freaking doornail. Is that a thing?
Hold on. Corey, do you watch him? Yep.
Hi.
Yes, one person only.
Oh, that door's open over there. That back door's open. Is that lead outside? Because I can't see. Is that a closet? Okay.
The center console of the truck.
It is.
I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, that's where he said he kept his gun. But let's bring this to the forefront. The people that the intruders that came in, they went into the garage first. That's why those doors were open, guys. They went into the truck, they opened his console, they took his gun out, used his gun, his ammo. And what happened to that gun? Did they put it back? Let's continue.
Should we have him? Okay, look at this. Watch out. Oh no, it's paint. Do you see any blood along the truck at all?
Oh my goodness.
Hey, someone.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to be watching him.
Now, I've watched this body cam video several.
Someone needs to be watching him. I'm telling you, you're going to hear that time and time again when you do see alternate body cam. These people are already from the get-go knowing that he did this, all right? Or having a huge suspicion, alleged, right? That thing is a very clean garage. You could almost live in that garage. Yeah, dumber than a box of rocks. That's a good one, Janet. All right.
Times. And it always stands out to me how officers want to make sure that Caleb is in their sights and how they even whisper to each other about alleged suspicions they may have about his story.
Everything.
Yeah. That back door is open. There's like a door on the side right there. It's open. So
You guys cleared the garage and everything?
yeah. We didn't. The truck, the center console of the truck's open, and that's where he said he keeps his gun. So
Can you believe that? Those are some smart home invaders. They knew exactly which door to go in so they wouldn't mess up this guy's locks. They didn't want to disturb the garage, but they went straight into his truck and right directly to that gun. Damn, it must be somebody they know. What do you guys think? Dumber than dirt. Or, yeah, we could go with Eduardo did it if it was a Letitia. Eduardo. Oh my God, we got to get back into that case.
Who shot?
the wife.
In the same room with him?
Yeah. In her bed. In the bed.
He didn't hear anything?
I haven't talked to him. Corey's the one that's talked to him.
Based on everything we know
No
about
way.
Caleb, to the outside world, it seemed like he was the last person who would do something like kill his wife. After about 45 minutes inside the home, we see on the body cam video that he makes his way outside, and there's this emotional embrace that he has with someone who hasn't been identified. They seem like a close friend, even a family member. Watch.
Come on, honey.
Now he's sniffling and falling on the ground and being overly reactive, which they already take note of, right? Yes, they knew where his gun was. They went straight to that. They didn't want to mess up the truck or the door because they didn't want to inconvenience the family. But they did want to borrow that gun and the ammo. The ammo was probably right there, very handy. What's up, Thought Criminal? Good to see you. This is going to trial, guys, and the Academy Award goes to the prosecution. Maybe it's Dexter.
squad to look at you?
This is very, very eerily similar to Corey Richards as well. Anybody watching the Corey Richards case see the same thing? And the fact that she was all head to toe in her PJs and she was sleeping. She doesn't know. She wanted to go say, hey, honey, I love you. And he was cold. Come on. She's hiding her hands. What the hell's going on with these people? Exactly. Who are these people anyway? Let me look.
Just walk him, just look at him.
I think so.
The girls don't know. The girls are sleeping. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
I'm just a little I'm in shock. Yeah, I think maybe.
Do you want to sit down on the steps?
Do you have a blanket? Can we get him a
Yep.
blanket?
Yep.
Blanket.
Hold on. All right. I absolutely think it's going to be televised. Isn't this the same state that Chad Dorman took the life of his 3 children? So I'm pretty sure thus far, court has been televised. Now, I tried to look it up, but for some reason, Microsoft, which I hate so much, is freezing up on me, and I don't want to kick myself out of this, out of the show today. All right. Also, supposedly falling asleep in her children's room. Right. She's having this celebratory drink with her husband, and she goes and falls asleep in the children's room. And she comes back and he's dead. All right.
Who walked around in the back?
What's that?
Who walked around in the back? The deputies?
Deputies.
None of us have walked around in the back?
No.
Do you not want us to?
I don't.
Let.
I was going to wait till dogs got here. We have 2 dogs.
Okay.
I just had them go around and put up. I don't know. Colt might have went around some to put up the tape.
Yeah.
That would have been it.
Yeah. Okay.
The choice they could bring a drone, but we don't know what they're looking for. I mean,
I froze, and then I ran, and the door to the garage was wide open, and then I.
Look at it. Look at it. I mean, these guys just from the get-go are not buying this. Yeah, Caleb from Ohio. Yeah, this is in Ohio, so I believe Ohio is, and not just Ohio particularly, but in that state, they do televise these things. I mean, they did with Chad Doerman. We actually saw the damn footage of the body cam when the first responders came up and there was children lined up and then execution style shot. So yes, I'm sure it is. All right. I'm sure it's going to be televised. However, they won't show the children or any of that. Hashtag he needs a binky. I hate Microsoft. Indy, we can have a whole conversation about Microsoft. It sucks and it takes over everything and it forces you to use it. Thank you. All right, let's continue. This little bish.
How long were you here before we got here? Like 20 seconds?
Yeah, not too long.
Okay.
I think I've seen your guys' lights.
Yeah. No cars came driving out of
No,
here?
I didn't see nothing.
Wait, I didn't see anything either. All down Hyatt.
And
I didn't see
I
anything.
came first one. It came in, I started going fast, and they said,
Yeah. Yeah.
I hit my siren.
Oh, yeah.
Then I turned the siren off the ways down, so
Yeah.
I don't scare no one.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't find it the first time.
Well, that back The side door is what's open.
It's open still.
Yeah, it is.
In the hours after Ashley was killed, police said the working theory was that this was a burglary that turned deadly. They put drones in the air, there were dogs on the ground, but they say they did not find any sign of an intruder.
Golly gee, I wonder what happened. No Apple. Oh no, I use Apple and Adobe. You know the problem with, and I'm going to stop for a second to say this. The problem with Apple is there are a lot of things that aren't compatible or software that you couldn't get on Apple. So I've always done PC. So I have PC and I use Adobe, Illustrator, Photoshop, the whole suite. But listen, when I went to college, guys, I could not afford Illustrator and Photoshop. So guess what we did back then? We did the Napster thing and we ripped off the copies of software. You can't do that with Apple, Indy. That was like 30 years ago now, so it's okay. This guy's name is Mud in Ohio. Yeah, Microsoft's useless. Hello, welcome in.
All right, Caleb. I need you to stand up when we place that at us. All right.
Look at him, he's about to cry.
What's that?
Turn around for me, sir.
Later that week, Caleb Flynn was arrested and charged with Ashley's murder. We haven't seen an interrogation video yet, and we still don't really know what's at the heart of the state's case against Caleb Flynn and why they believe what he is telling them is allegedly a lie. Also, no motive for this alleged crime has been publicly stated as of yet.
I'm sorry to meet you under these circumstances, sir. Again, you can.
Now, there is not a motive that's been stated by the prosecution, but through the news articles and local media news and people talk, go on Facebook, go on X, everyone's talking about Caleb and his 23-year-old girlfriend. If that isn't a motive, I don't know what is. All right, you come back now since.
Call me Will. Now, what was your first name, sir?
Caleb.
Caleb. All right.
Anything for me or
From out of town, like my phone and everything.
I'm gonna try to get everything processed with that we would need, and we'll see what we can do about as far as like getting it back to you as soon as possible. But unfortunately, in the situation, it's kind of standard for us to collect everything. Okay. I'm gonna step out since you're doing your thing with him. If you need anything, just
okay.
All right.
Pretty simple process. So, I'm sure Detective Morgan. I got one. Thank you. Kind of told you. So for touch DNA, for stuff left at the residence, this would eliminate you. Like if the crime lab they see it and they're like, okay, no.
See, here's the problem is he doesn't even realize he's this dumb that he doesn't realize that every single law enforcement officer is looking at him and they already know that they're going to arrest him. All right. So he's still sitting there thinking that he cried his eyes out and they're going to let him be on his merry way. All right. Not so much. I just had a Reese's cup. Oh, those are good. All right, let's continue.
This matches the homeowner, so we need, or it doesn't. So now we have this other profile. We got to try to find out who that is. Okay. So with these, it's real simple. It's sterile.
Look at this guy, man.
New packaging. So if you just open your mouth and then I just put it in and I swirl it around on your cheek a couple times.
This is video of Caleb giving his DNA voluntarily to police at the station. Flynn has been in custody since his arrest. He's appeared in court multiple times. The judge set a May 4th trial date, and at the last court hearing, Flynn's attorney said they had no motions to file at that time, but now there is going to be a delay. Flynn's defense attorney filed this motion saying that they wanted to delay the trial 21 days because, quote, the state has continued to provide voluminous discovery, some of which is actually relevant. And again, today on Tuesday, a judge decided that the case will be postponed, but we don't know when a new trial date will be set. We do have the potential witness list for the defense. That was made publicly available. That list includes people like the chief of police in Tipp City, Ohio, the arresting agency, as well as several officers with the Tipp City Police Department.
And you know that the 911 dispatcher is going to be on that list, right? If his kids are on the list, his alleged mistress is on the list, Princess Mish, he's toast. That's right. You gained 25 pounds from your Butterfinger addiction. Hey, I'm right there with you with the Ben & Jerry's strawberry cheesecake ice cream. Oh my God. So bad for you, but so good. And Deb's eating cinnamon monkey bread right now. Y'all. All right. Tight, well-trained PD. Tipp City is small, but well supported. And I'm so glad to hear that. I'm so glad it's moving forward so quickly. And they have a mountain of evidence.
Department and several FBI agents. The federal government was called in to help investigate this case. Also, based on addresses, it appears
Damn.
that several of Flynn's neighbors are on the list as well. But there are 2 sections where names have been redacted on that potential witness list. We don't know who they are. Joining us now to talk more about this case is retired Judge Fernand Rucker, now an attorney. Thank you, as always, for taking the time to be with us here on Law and Crime. It just seemed like this case was steamrolling towards a trial at just a very, very quick pace.
And it still will be. And I think that was the whole shocking twist. So I don't care about that anymore. We're done with that. We're going to go to what we do care about to get ready for the trial. Caleb Flynn's staged crime scene. Your questions answered. They really are. They really, really are. I like this podcast. So it's in there. Hidden Killer. What is it? It's Hidden Killers, at Hidden Killers. Anyway, it's in the description. This is fantastic information going into the trial. Oh, hit that like button, y'all. I'm going to gift a membership here in a minute. So make sure your gifting's on.
Brutal murder of 37-year-old Ashley Flynn, his wife, without feeling a profound, sickening sense of betrayal. A beloved middle school teacher, volleyball coach, mother of 2. She was allegedly shot to death in her own bed, allegedly by the man who vowed to protect her. But now her husband, a former American Idol contestant and worship pastor, God, we can't get out of a church today, can we? Sits in jail facing 11 charges.
Why do so many people hide behind God and Jesus? Is it just something that's easy to do? Like, oh, hi, nice to meet you, Jane. Hey, I'm a Christian and I'm a pastor at the church. Does that automatically give you credibility because you're a Christian or because you allegedly have a relationship with God? I don't think so. Some of the biggest killers, biggest crimes are done by people that hide behind their religion. I think that this guy, Caleb, loved the attention of being a pastor. He was in the band. He got his American Idol fix. He got to sing. As a matter of fact, I have one of those songs and I didn't want to get into the, you know how YouTube is with the music. He actually sings really good, but he was in the church choir, flirting with the ladies, to being a pastor. I think it was all just for status. All right. Big church. Yes. I saw that. I can find it if you want. If you guys want me to. There is a even there's a take with him and his 23-year-old girlfriend singing on stage in the crowd.
The facade of their perfect Christian family has completely shattered. How does a man sing praises on stage and profess his love on national television only to allegedly orchestrate a chilling staged execution while his 2 young daughters sleep just down the hall? Just down the hall. Your thoughts in the comment section on Substack and YouTube. Sarah on Facebook says, I'm sick with the rumors that he was having an affair with a pregnant 23-year-old and that text message at 12:42 a.m.
See, and now we're hearing, and this is why I say your questions answered, because this is perfect. This is absolutely perfect. Now we're hearing rumors that not only did he have a mistress, but she was pregnant. Wait, what? Say what? Yeah, big church, very community intertwined. Yeah, or entwined. Absolutely. All right. Or everybody that goes to prison seems to find God and Jesus, but they still continue many times to commit crimes inside. No shoot vaccine says I walk with Jesus. That's all I know. And rightfully so. Good for you. It doesn't need to be a show. It needs to be an act that you do with yourself, between yourself and God. No one needs to know that your relationship. Otherwise, I feel like it's just for a show. I was going to throw out a few words we could use here. Guilty of crime, scuttlebutt. Hey, whoever wants to use that, do it.
saying it's almost done. Was this a calculated execution so he could just start a new life without the mess of divorce? That's speculation on rumors. If it, again, innocent until proven guilty, if he was having this affair and this text came through, that's pretty blunt.
It's something like that. When you look up the averages and the profiles of who typically commits these types of crimes, it's someone like this. It's someone who, like the spouse that does this, again, innocent until proven guilty, but he fits the pattern. So when you look at his background, you look at the wife's background, you look at family background, because that's the first thing I do in every single case. I look at the types of relationships they have, the type of people in their lives. And so you can start seeing, is this a...
Now, what? Oh my God, was the girl pregnant with this baby? Is she still pregnant? I do not think she was pregnant at all. From the very get-go of this case, we started it out saying American Idol pastor Caleb Flynn executed his pregnant wife. So allegedly, his wife was pregnant, and he didn't want any more, apparently. All right, so this is more of it's more on the side of Chris Watts. Got rid of his wife, got rid of his new baby, and tried to keep the kids silent. If you got the gifted membership, come on out of the bushes there. Midnight Lace, good to see you. You're always a little late, and that's okay. Welcome, new Crime Crew members. All right, let's continue.
pattern of what their normally wacky lives and horrendous lives are doing, or was there an impetus? Was there a spike? Was there an outside event that caused it? And if the rumors are correct in saying that he had some sort of extramarital affair, there's a spike outside the norm that typically will cause someone to do stupid things, especially if the awareness of this other relationship or things that are byproducts of relationships, which are unwanted pregnancies or anything like that, and it would damage or tarnish a very controlled image of yourself, of a church-going pastor, then that creates people to do really stupid things. And so if you're looking for patterns of potential behavior in there, I think that's what the cops have probably seen, why the arrest warrant was finally issued for him. And also, from what we know, it was done with his weapon, his gun, his 9mm.
Now this is not funny, but it's like satire funny, right? I mean, absolutely somebody's not going to come in, be so nice as not to break your door, do anything, go straight to the weapon and use your weapon. I wonder what they did with that weapon. Do you think they put it back for him? Anyway, they're going to televise this, I'm sure, but I do not think they're going to let him testify. And congratulations to the new members. Me too. Thank you, Candace. Thank you for seconding that motion, because I think that he had a possibility of the thought in his head and he was too coward to do it. But I think he did think about it. He seems kind of like Chris Watts, where he's very like a passive aggressive dude, very passive to his wife. But then after that, he's like, screw this, I'm going to do this. Very passive aggressive kind of dude. Yeah, conveniently. Let's continue.
He's the only, I mean, him and the daughter survive. It's like targeted home invasion, killing her only. True. And you see how everything just starts falling apart with the narrative that he's trying to portray.
Well, I mean, the narrative is interesting, and this kind of ties into a question here that Mike gave us. It says, I cannot get past the sheer stupidity of this staged break-in. He claims an intruder came in through the side garage door, but responding officers found it was blocked from the inside by a massive refrigerator. Did he really think the cops wouldn't notice?
He forgot that. That's part of the staging, guys. And this is why originally and initially they went and did swabs on the doors, and they said, we need your DNA to make sure there was no outside person's DNA on anything, anywhere, no signs of a break-in, nothing was taken. These two burglars, or a burglar or whatever, came straight in, went right to their room, first went in the garage, went to his middle console, took his loaded weapon that they know how to use, went straight to the wife, shot her twice in the head, and then left everyone else okay. Wow. I know. Some of us are still on Watts Island. Let's continue.
He allegedly used a 9mm from his own truck that had the open console in it, and that people would believe. Here's my thought on this, and I'm curious to get your thought, Robin. People that are malleable to believe BS, and I'm not calling religion BS, but people who are easy to believe what people are going to tell them, and maybe it's magical thinking in some way, shape, or form. People who are easily influenced in that way. Are these also the same people who are going to believe that others are going to believe their own BS because they're very.
And that's true, guys. You got to know. What's up, Shadow? Good to see you. You have to understand that we as human beings, we treat people the way that we want to be treated and the way that we treat others. So we expect that back. We expect that people as humans are going to give the same human decency back without even knowing them, right? We assume that just because if you have a good nature, if you're a good-natured person that doesn't do shit like that, then you don't expect someone else to do something like that. And especially somebody that's a pastor in the public eye. And yes, I'm going to pull this up real quick because people are asking, and I'm looking at this and saying, am I questioning, was she pregnant? Why are we questioning if Ashley Flynn was pregnant or not? We're almost at trial. Midnight Lace. I freaking love that dog too. So cute. Is that a Shih Tzu or is it a Shih Tzu mix? Anyway, thank you so much for the 5 Guilty of Crime memberships, you guys. If you received the membership, please thank Midnight Lace. All right, let's continue. He's going to be on his knees a lot. That's right. All right, let me show you real quick so we can get this out of the way. Even just for it's a Maltese. Why did I say a Shih Tzu? Yes, Maltese. If it was a Shih Tzu, it would be probably 2 colors. Beautiful. Mom, look at the Shih Tzu. I mean, look at the Maltese. Remember your sister had a Maltese like that? Beautiful. I love the dog profile pics as well. Her name is Sophie. Well, thank you for sharing Sophie with us. My aunt used to have a Maltese, and I just love it. Makes me think of her every time I see a dog like that. So I don't know why I called it a Shih Tzu, but maybe it's the medicine. All right, listen. Was Ashley Flynn carrying a 3rd child inside the devastating Ohio shooting? Now, this is days after, right? This happened on February 16, 2026, February 21st, 2026. It says, in the quiet town of Tipp City, Ohio, a shocking crime unfolded that captured the national attention. Ashley Flynn, a 37-year-old beloved volleyball coach of Tippecanoe Middle School and a substitute teacher, was found shot to death in her home early on February 16, 2026. Her husband, Caleb Flynn, a 39-year-old former American Idol contestant and music pastor, initially reported the incident as a burglary gone wrong. However, investigators quickly turned suspicions towards him, leading to his arrest on the charges, including murder. Now, this case not only highlighted as a seemingly picture-perfect family torn apart, but also raised questions about the hidden motives and personal secrets. All right. Central to the intrigue is the query, was Ashley Flynn pregnant at the time of her death? Court documents and reports suggest that she was. Okay, I wanted to make sure I was right. The reason he's being charged with 11 counts of murder in different formats is because of the pregnancy, guys. Now, that the details have fueled speculation and deepened the tragedy, as Ashley was a devoted mother to 2 young daughters already, and the incident occurred while the children slept unharmed in the home, adding layers to the horror of what authorities now describe as a staged crime scene designed to mimic a home invasion. Now, here's the thing. The charges and revelations. Caleb Flynn is facing serious accusations. Now we know it's including murder, but there's 11 counts with felonious assault, with a deadly weapon, tampering with evidence, trying to coax the witnesses. All right. It says, according to official statements, he allegedly shot his wife twice in the head with a 9mm handgun, then attempted to cover his tracks by simulating a break-in. The 911 call released by authorities captures Caleb's frantic report of discovering Ashley unresponsive, but inconsistencies prompted deeper scrutiny. Police noted signs of forced entry that appeared fabricated, and forensic evidence pointed directly to the perpetrator, Caleb Flynn, allegedly. Now, what stands out in the legal filings is the inclusion of provisions for causing the death of an unborn child, implying that Ashley was indeed pregnant. This aspect elevates the charges, reflecting Ohio's law that protect fetal life in cases of violence. Autopsy results are still pending. That was a long time ago, but initial reports confirm the possibility, turning the murder into a double tragedy involving a loss of Ashley and her potential child. All right. We don't know how far along she was. We know nothing like that as of yet. All right. So let's continue on and get ready for this trial. Thank you guys for coming here. Hit that like button, subscribe, do all the stuff. Thank you guys for being here.
Very apt to just take other people at their word if they use the right words. In many cases, Jesus, God, religion, things of that. Well, must be a good person. They said God. And a lot of people get bamboozled that way. Are these same people just as vulnerable because they are vulnerable?
No, there's nothing in the paperwork that has a written motive. However, the motive that I am bringing to the table and my perspective on this case is because of his girlfriend. All right. Trial date set for Pastor Caleb Flynn. Did his girlfriend push him over the edge? All right. So in my opinion, he has the same motive that Chris Watts had and many other men that wipe out their family and their wife. All right. So there was no money. We haven't heard about some life insurance policy. We don't know that there was no divorce filings. If you look on Facebook, they looked very happy. All right. So I'm pretty sure it's the motive of wanting to start his life with a 23-year-old younger version of his wife.
To that on their own end, into saying stupid shit when they're trying to sell their own story because they assume that others are going to be just as naive as they are to the world around them.
I'm not sure about his gullibility or susceptibility to outside influences and perceptions like that. But I think, to what you're saying is exactly this. When you're surrounded by people and you're a pastor that you're very, very used to, your only outside interactions completely believe everything you're saying because you're on the pulpit.
This is absolutely true. Oh my God. When I heard this part, I was like, this is what I want. This is what I want you all to see. It's true. I mean, he's got an audience of people at all times believing him as a pastor. And then he's in the choir. They saw him on American Idol. They see his fake book and nobody questions a thing. He also doesn't understand real life, apparently, because he could have given that story to anyone at the church and they'd have said, oh man, sorry, let's pray, blah, 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 whatever they do. But law enforcement wasn't buying his shit, right? He should have tested it first. All right, let's continue. And welcome all new members. If you did receive a membership from Midnight Lace, please thank her. Let's continue. Oh, girl. He was a pastor of their church. He's in the church choir and he was on American Idol. And the mistress that he was allegedly having an affair with was also one of the leaders at church. In the leadership groups, was also in the choir. And she was 23 years old at his church. Now, she mysteriously resigned from the church right after Caleb was arrested. All right. And me too. I just can't stand that. Fake mother truckers. Ooh, you got a membership, always groovy. In Ohio, it's to include a baby. If there were a pregnancy, doesn't mean she was. That hasn't been officially released. It has not been officially released, but we're speculating that it is. Just like nothing has been officially released about the girlfriend either, right? This is all, in my opinion, speculation based on the evidence that we do have. All right. And I can only go by what others report. Oh, hold on. I didn't mean to. I need to switch it back because I need you to hear this. All right. But I caught myself. Look at that. All right.
Believe everything you're saying because you're on the pulpit, you're doing the gospels, you're giving your sermons every week, and everyone is buying in 100% of what you're sharing, and you have that confirmation bias that, hey, I can say anything and they'll believe me, and people like me, they believe me. They could never imagine in a million years that I would do something like this. It emboldens you to think that
not yet.
Everyone thinks that way about me. Who could possibly? Because in other words, if it's the old adage, if you're in the middle of this torrential monsoon, thunderstorm, hurricane, you think the entire world is in a monsoon hurricane. Meanwhile, it's only about this big. You take one step this way and it's clear skies and sunny, and a sunny day outside. But because you're surrounded by the maelstrom, you think that's all there is. If you're surrounded by a lot of people that believe all this stuff you're saying coming out of your mouth, and you think the entire world loves you and beloves you, you don't realize, dude, your congregation's about.
This is one of the best analogies I've ever heard. It just tells you. All right. The autopsy's still pending and it's not even public anyway. I was going to ask Cuffew because Cuffew's been following this case heavily. It just hasn't been released. But people that do true crime all the time, based on their knowledge of the charges, are saying, they're speculating that it's because she was pregnant, because he got really hefty charges. And we were wondering in the beginning, I mean, that when we came into this, I was like, how in the hell do you shoot somebody twice in the head and get that many counts? He got aggravated murder and then 3 counts of just regular murder, whatever the difference is there. Now I know aggravated is like it's a bigger factor in it. So I'm thinking maybe the aggravating factor is the fact that she was pregnant, and the other 3 counts, I'm just not sure. I'm not sure, but I do believe that that's how this was translated. So we'll see. We'll see as we continue. And it might not have been, but why would he be texting his mistress saying, it's almost done, it's almost over? They say they have the threads. Again, we won't know until we know. But right now, we're going to find out soon. We will, because trial is coming very soon. All right, let's get back to that. And I go.
About 100 people or 200 people. When someone more objective gets outside that circle and you try spewing that crap, you're like, what the hell are you talking about? You're an idiot. And it's also very obvious that when people do these things, none of them watch true crime shows like ours, because you're like, you're doing the stupidest shit in the world. Trying to stage something to cops is the dumbest thing in the world you could possibly do, because you just can't. It's literally impossible, because people like this, they don't play these things out, because what happens is, if you logically play out, all right, if I do it this way, and they ask, all you got to do is go down 1 or 2 questions beyond the actual action that you're trying to portray, you'll say, well, I can't do it that way. I got to do it this way.
Well, that's included into it, Clementine. I always know how to get you out of the bushes. That is a part of it. And part of the witness intimidation is alleged to be him intimidating his children to say they didn't hear anything, they didn't see anything, the parents don't fight. He was trying to coach them on what to say. So that's why those charges came in with intimidating witnesses or attorneys. If he was asleep, exactly. If he was asleep next to her and they came in and shot her twice in the head, execution style, it wouldn't be a very clean sight. I'll tell you that right now. And you're right. There would be blood splatter, not spatter, splatter on him just from being there. But no, he goes and puts on a shirt or changes his shirt before law enforcement comes. All right. Have you not watched any of these yet? If you need to, go back to the playlist. This is the 4th episode. All right, let's continue. I know this is like Chris Watts, but I'm glad he did not take the life of his other 2 children.
I mean, and what happens is you finally run out of things you could logically come up with explanations for, and you come to the logical conclusion, I shouldn't do stupid shit because I'm going to be found out, because none of it will play out well. None of it. People get away with this by mistake. rather than by design when it does happen.
Yeah, I mean, because telling people, the cops, oh, they came in through this door over here and then happened to go and know he had a gun in his truck. And I mean, it's such a bullshit story.
And also 911 calls. 911 calls are the most telling things that give cops the first clue of where to look when it comes to perpetrator.
All right, guys, please remember that, because I say that all the time. Why didn't Jen Soto call 911 herself? Why didn't Katie and Chris call 911? Where it was a record kept of, oh my God, Sebastian's missing, blah, 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 whatever it may be. All right. And we can go on and on and on about the people that don't call 911 themselves. It's because of this. It's because of this. I mean, they know what to look for. Law enforcement already knows what to look for. His story is that he had a cold and a cough, and so Ashley told him to sleep on the couch, followed by him saying, I wish I hadn't listened. Yeah, okay. Right? Deb said, okay. Sure, buddy.
Just because you always got to look at the focus. Where's the focus? Even you can rehearse all you want to say the greatest 911 call in the world. But what happens if you have incongruence between words and emotions? That leaks out all the time. If you don't give a rat's ass towards the individual that was just killed in front of you or by you or whatever it is, no matter what you say is going to be incongruence between words, action, and deeds on that.
So remember that as you go into other true crime cases. Yeah, why didn't Potato call 911? Because she, in my opinion, simply did not want to be didn't want to document it. She had her sister and her mom call, because when someone is part of something or a perpetrator, their actions and their words don't match. And these seasoned investigators usually call it out right away. And I'm not talking about Sheriff Nanos. He's seasoned, but he's terrible. All right. He's seasoned because he's old, but he's a really shitty sheriff. In my opinion, he botched that. The Nancy Guthrie case, guys. Cuff you. They walked past him on the couch to go to the bedroom. No, I think they went through. He said they went through the garage and went straight to the bedroom. I think. All right. Changed when he stuttered over the children. Right. All right, let's continue.
911 call, and a skilled investigator with even 1 or 2 years on a force is going to listen to that and say, we need to look here. And that 911 call he gave was exactly that one more time. Again, innocent until proven guilty, but there's a lot of interesting things on that 911 call. Can I tell you the one thing that stuck out to me more than anything on that one?
Yeah.
A lot of times people that commit the crimes like to distance themselves either from the individual, the crime itself, or not be part of it. When I'm listening to the 911 call, he said, when the 911 caller said, where is she? Meaning his wife, he said, she's in the bed, not our bed. It's just an interesting, non-possessive.
That's true as well. And listen, Cuff you says he decided to go in the girls' room before she was shot. And then he heard the dog's collar shake, but it didn't wake him from the shots. How did he know there was 2 shots to the head then? There's no possibility to ever know that unless you're a medical examiner and you're going in there, or unless you're the person that did it. And especially if you didn't hear it. All right. Now, he probably used something to muffle the sound, because a 9mm, just a regular old 9mm shooting twice, you're going to hear it and it's going to be loud. Maybe not like a stick of dynamite loud, but it's fairly loud.
Pronoun used gives a great, interesting shift between how he viewed the bed versus our bed. Anyway, just a little tidbit of a one-word shift, and I was like, "Oh, that was interesting."
That is. I mean, it's when you're in that position and because the way.
Does anybody think he's going to survive in prison for long? I mean, he sure does have a party mouth, right?
Again, because it's such a ridiculous excuse that he gave to the police, and they're going to hammer him for this in court. I think it is true. The reps that he has in telling people things that they believe, because people will take what he says a little more serious, I think, than just Joe Blow or me. Someone who, if we're talking to people at that church, if you will, they're going to take what he's going to say, his testimony about whatever, as having more weight, more legitimacy, more trust, because he's in that position of authority, in power, involving God, involving his church. So if he's to say something and his interpretation of something is what it is, oh, well, they'll take it a little more seriously versus somebody who doesn't have that sort of position. And I think him being in that position over and over and just being believed on his own will, and probably a lot of reps, in my opinion, and my guess, of probably BSing people, I guess you stop you fail to start to realize how deep the water gets in the pool as quickly as it does.
Yeah, he fell in love with his own credibility.
Yeah. Exactly.
Thought he's more credible than he
That's
is.
true. Yeah. I mean, you do. You fall in love with your own credibility and you think that it holds more weight than it actually does. Another thing here, Amanda from YouTube, the witness intimidation charges are terrifying to me. Their 2 young daughters were in the house for 3 days between what happened, the murder, and Caleb's arrest.
Yeah, remember, they did not arrest him immediately. They needed to process the scene, etc. All right. Sadie's mama says, guilty. Yes, but only because the correctional officers don't want to lose their jobs. We do have the death penalty. Haven't had one done in years, but it's still an option. All right. The faker didn't plan to really answer the questions. Yeah, exactly. There's no way that you could either. Now, Liz says, I heard speculation that he may have drugged their daughters because they slept through the whole thing. And I heard that as well. So they are on the witness list. And I hope that they by now took some kind of samples. Now, when you say drugging the daughters, it can be as simple as, hey, you guys have a cough. Let me give you some NyQuil to sleep or what have you. But yes, I did hear that speculation. Nothing has been verified. I'm also looking at the any developments of an autopsy report, and nothing has been. The coroner will not release the preliminary autopsy at all right now. Now, I'm sure the court has to have that, and the prosecution. That's why the charges are the way they are. But there is no official autopsy or medical examiner report that they've released. All right.
And are now the center of the no contact order. What on earth did he say or do to those poor girls to warrant those specific charges? Well, I'm guessing there was probably some storytelling going on, don't you think?
Oh yeah, especially if he's arrested under this, being suspicious of doing this and then being accused of doing this, that's a violent act against someone at a house. I mean, that's child custody. I mean, yeah, you're going to remove kids from the same household because the amount of times spouses are taken out and children, that's more common than anything. And then if he's under suspicion and being accused of doing this, that means he's murdered someone at least once. Why wouldn't he murder more? I mean, And so, first of all, it's the threat of violence against them is why they're removing him from that household. Regardless of him witness tampering and everything like that, it's protect the children.
Yeah.
And rightfully so, because many times that doesn't happen. Hey, Andrea, good to see you. How you doing? It's been a while. And Carly's in the house. How you doing, Carly? Good to see you. Yeah, it could be Benadryl, any of that. I mean, you guys remember the family annihilator, Tony Todd, right? TODT. They lived right next to Disney World, and they Benadryled the crap out of the children to try to allegedly take their lives. But instead, you guys remember the Tony Todd case? Yeah, Benadryl can definitely be deadly. Hey, kids, want some gummies? And they're actually melatonin gummies, right? Well, I don't think kids are that dumb nowadays, but who knows? We do know this guy likes story time quite a bit. And it's weird. I'm looking at the charges filed, and it says Dayton 24/7 just a day ago says that he got new charges added. So I can't really differentiate between the charges that they have. He's got pretty hefty charges and the charges that they added. So let's just take a look real quick and see if we can, I don't know, cuff you. Do you know about that?
This is your Morning Minute sponsored by Boss Auto Network. We have an update to 2 major cases we've been following. Last week, we told you about those new and more serious charges announced in the Herschel Creechbaum case. 39-year-old Michael Kendrick now faces murder, involuntary manslaughter, and endangering children charges, in addition to gross abuse of a corpse and tampering with evidence. 36-year-old Ashley Johnson was facing obstruction of justice. On top of that, she now has weeks earlier. Now, both Kendrick and Johnson, $2 million bond, and Johnson is high by the defense. Flynn is accused of killing his wife. Ashley is set to begin next week, but this bond and Johnson is held on a $250,000 bond. They're set back to be in court on April 30th. And the Caleb Flynn trial is set to begin next week, but this morning a new motion has been filed by the defense. Flynn is accused of killing his wife, Ashley Flynn, in their Tipp City home earlier this year. According to new court documents, the defense is requesting a 21-day continuance, citing time for expert review of additional information presented in the case. Meanwhile, the judge is still deciding whether special protections will be granted to child witnesses who may testify. The trial is set to begin on Monday next week.
All right. Well, now they asked for an extension, so hopefully they don't start filing a bunch of motions and pushing this out and pushing it out, because really it's just going to cause more trauma for the children, for the family, for everybody.
And these are the only people that are going to be able to say what they experience, and it's coming from children, which is not always great in court. It's a hard witness to have.
I think there'll be more.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what they say and what they say dad told him to say is going to be what I.
Yeah, it'll be, and you're right. I think between what the kids say and the leakage you're going to have from people.
And they already know this because that's included into the charges, guys. So they must have, right at the scene, they had to bring the kids, separate them from Caleb, bring Caleb in, right? It took 3 days in between the time that he killed Ashley Flynn, and between then and getting arrested. So he had time to tell the kids, hey, don't do this, don't do that. Jen's a Gypsy says, sent them or shambled back. It's definitely nodded out. I hope nobody's nodding out over here. But hey, if that's what you do, do your thing.
People around. I mean, so here you are, a pastor. Your wife is involved with the school. I mean, they had a lot of outside interactions, and the amount of leakage that they're going to have about what was going on at home is going to be pretty. Yep. I would think it's going to be pretty substantial. And then when you start getting incongruencies between stories, between what he's saying, what the kids are saying, and what outsiders are saying from what they observed, what they saw, what they heard, text messages, all these things are going to really be playing a lot. I think law enforcement has a lot to work with on this one. I know the defense attorney said, they need to give more time. 3 days isn't long enough to investigate this. It might have been more than enough, just because who else? I mean, just the whole all you got to do is Google, the probability of an outsider coming in your house and killing your wife randomly. It was just like,
and getting your gun out of your truck through a door.
I mean, doesn't it just sound ridiculous? I mean, I've already said this at the beginning of the episode, but when you hear two people, one a seasoned ex-FBI, and then, the host, Tony of Hidden Killers podcast, it's ridiculous, right? So law enforcement was saying that from the get-go. When you watch the body cam, you can hear the law enforcement officers whispering to each other to keep an eye on him and what really happened and why is this guy so, like, they already knew how he was acting.
Or you can go through.
I'm not laughing. I'm laughing at the stupidity, not at the crime. It's the most horrendous thing. But you're like, I told you, how many times do we say this on the show? If these people had 3 marbles rolling around upstairs, they wouldn't have to resort to things like this. Stupid people do things like this because they have nothing going on upstairs.
Well, that and narcissists, stupid people, sometimes they're one and the same. But
intelligence.
But at the end of the day, I always say it, narcissism wins. And if he thought he was going to get away with this because he told himself a story over and over, that's narcissism. And guess what won? Narcissism. Not the narcissist. He's going down for this. I mean, at least innocent till proven guilty. But it's acting on it. It's believing that you can tell that story and people are going to believe it. It's thinking you're going to get away with this for all those days, that this is all just going to work out okay. When you practice it, when you believe it, it will take.
I mean, aren't we seeing this stuff every day, and the same people? I mean, different people are doing the same damn thing. Are they not watching true crime, or they just don't care? Good night, Julie. Have a good one. Got to work early tomorrow. Love you all. Big hugs. I don't even know how we made it to 2 hours. We're going to be done after this. I'm glad we made it. I appreciate y'all. Tomorrow's Thursday already? And then it's going to be Friday. Don't forget, guys. Friday, we're going to do something. I don't know if it's going to be intertwined with the case, but little Corey Michelow, his birthday is coming up on Friday. He would have been 12 years old, right? And so we're going to we're going to, do a happy birthday shout out and a little recap of what happened to Corey Michello and say a prayer for the family. All right, let's continue.
You out, and that's why, I mean, unfortunately other people do get taken out too, but so many times, if you're not in a dangerous situation with a narcissist or a malignant narcissist, someone who's not, we all have narcissistic tendencies, but one that's just, this is.
You guys, I also just got an email from CrimeCon, and I didn't realize that they sold, and maybe they don't every year, but starting on Friday 5/1, this Friday, they're selling day passes to CrimeCon. So you can just go for a Friday, a Saturday, or a Sunday and not have to pay the $3.99 per ticket. So just to let you know, because they are going to probably sell out fast. Yes, little Corey Michello. They reached out to me, Grandma Rebecca, and one of her, I don't know if she's a family member or what, but they want us to put that out there. And rightfully so. I mean, we do not want to forget little Corey Michello.
Their modality for everything. If you're not in any sort of dangerous situation and they're not in a danger to others and they're doing shit, just let them. Because
that's why I call it a great show.
Because they will destroy themselves, guaranteed. Yeah. Step in if it's a danger to yourself or others. But if they're just going to kind of self-destruct on their own path of delusion, go ahead. You don't need to waste your energy. They will do it for you. It's really quite amazing to watch. All right, there you go.
We solved all the problems of the world today.
Big ball of narcissists today.
Big ball of narcissists today. Self-serving control freaks.
Oh my God. Your thoughts in the comment section. And
all right, we actually made it through. How's everybody doing? Don't forget to hit that like button. Jay, remember I told you Rico Suave became a pastor and we laughed? Apparently, he has a lot of followers. Well, how do we find out? We just lost like 50 people at once. I guess they realized we're done. And I was going to go a little more too. That's funny. I don't know how much the day tickets are, but since the weekend passes are $399, I'm thinking that maybe the day passes will be, let's say, $150. I don't know. They're going on sale on Friday. So you guys really should check that out. There's a lot of people saying they can't go to CrimeCon because of the price, and rightfully so. I just spent almost $700 and something on 2 tickets, and I didn't know that they were going to have day passes. So anyway, we're going to go to both days. All right. Michelle, devastation of not winning American Idol was too much for him. I know you're still here. Thank you. Thank you guys for still being here. Remember, we need to get justice for Ashley Flynn. I am going to do this. Yesterday, we made the goal. We probably made it today. Maybe not by the standards of YouTube, but we did. And I appreciate you guys so much. And I'm right in the middle of ordering books for CrimeCon so I could bring them and do all that. So I'm going to go ahead and give away another book. I haven't got them yet, but they are coming, and when they do, we'll do all that. So let me say that to say this. Hit that like button, drop a comment, and if you're still here and you got to be a member, guys, all right? You got to be a member. It's really expensive to ship these things and all of the above. So, yeah, I can't pay $400. I was going to see you guys. Nice. I paid $399 and I got 10% off of the 2. So I paid a little over $700 for Mrs. Guilty and myself. All right, CrimeCon is in Las Vegas this year, and we're going. I sure wish I could have. I got scared by the fees. I know. I didn't know that. I didn't know that they were going to have a day pass. I probably would have just done a day pass because it's really freaking expensive. But whatever. I already got my tickets for Las Vegas, and we will be there. You were in a big mouth tonight. Are you feeling okay, my friend? All right, you guys are in the green, so you're all good. Let's give away a book. And if you guys don't know about my book, can one of the mods drop a link? Drop your link in my link for my book, Reason 111, in chat. So if people want to buy a book, they can. And you guys could bring it to CrimeCon if you're going to go. You should go. We're going. We're driving out to Vegas. It's an 8-hour drive, guys. And we're doing it. All right, let's give somebody a book. A bunch of people left, so you guys have a better chance than everybody else because they left. All right, hugs for Corey's family. I will be saying that on Friday, so whoever can support, please do. You're on the East Coast, homie. East Coast, West Coast. I don't know how much the passes are. They're not even telling us. They're saying it will be available on Friday. All right, look at that. Let's see if Nana Rocks gets it. All right, I'm going to give out a book right now. As long as you are as long as you're a member and in the United States, of course. All right. And the book is available on a Kindle. So you guys could get the book from Amazon on a Kindle or whatever, digital copy, right? All right. Good luck, y'all. Now come to CrimeCon because we're going. I can't believe how fast it's coming up. I feel like I'm not ready. I'm never going to be ready, though. All right, guys, there we go. I know. I wish everybody could make it. I wish it was closer. It's okay. Melissa, hello, my friend. Hello. Lady for Justice did talk a lot in this episode, but Lady for Justice, do you have my book already? Hey, Melissa, good to see you. I hope you're doing well. I just need to know. Oh, yeah, and we're having the party, too. The party is on the 30th, and you have to RSVP. It's going to be at the Bellagio, open bar and food. You got to RSVP. Thanks to Patricia from NY. All right, where's Lady for Justice? Just 2 minutes ago, she said, I'm still here. We're here. All right, where'd you go? Do you have my book yet? All right, nope and yay. Okay. Well, you are in the U.S., I assume, and you are a Guilty of Crime Crew official member. So there you go. Congratulations, Lady for Justice. Send me an email, please. guiltyofcrimebyj@gmail.com. And again, it's going to take a little while because I got to order them and all that jazz, but I will put you on that list to get a book. I've been here. Court went good, Jay. I think I didn't come home today. The judge didn't give me an answer, so I'm still not sure. I pray that your rights don't get terminated and that you find out sooner than later. But you know what, Melissa? Keep doing what you're doing. Don't give up. If that happens, you're just going to keep fighting because that's what we do around here. We keep fighting and we don't give up, all right? So no matter what happens, you're just going to keep on down that path to get your boys, to get your children, okay? All right? It doesn't matter. You're just going to fight. You're going to keep fighting until you can't fight anymore because one day the children will be old enough to decide where they want to go, who they want to be with, and you are their mother. They're always going to love you and choose you, all right? So prayers for you. I pray that you get your children back and just don't give up. And if you don't give up, then you're not going to lose, right? Yes. Prayers. We're all sending you prayers, okay? I mean, that's it. You can't lose if you keep fighting. Fight your ass off until you can't fight anymore. Arting with Lynn. I can't believe I'm still a member. I'm overdrawn at the bank. They paid anyway. Yeah, it's like $2.99. They're like, we know. Yes, mad prayers for you, Melissa. Everybody's rooting for you. Princess Mish is even sending you fists. Look at that. I'm sending with you. All right. We want you to get your children back. We're all praying for you. All right, guys. I thank you for hanging out with me for over 2 hours. I came in not feeling so great, but I feel a lot better now. Not so sane. I had to fight for my son 12 years ago, and his daddy's MIA. You will win, my love. Thank you. And you know what? If she doesn't win this time, you're going to just continue. You're not going to give up. You can't lose if you don't give up. Okay? All right. I got you. We all got you. Thank you. And much love to all of you guys. I will see you tomorrow. I love you guys. Thank you for the donations. Thank you for the memberships. Thank you for just being here. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and 7 p.m. Eastern. We're going to have a big show tomorrow, guys. Tomorrow is going to be big. So get ready. All right? Are you ready? Are you ready? All right. You're ready. All right. Good night, guys. Love you. See you tomorrow.
Guilty of crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of crime.
Are you guilty of crime?